All right, welcome back to Scarborough Country. We've teased that he will be on this show, and
he is a fan favorite.
He is a fan favorite, and he certainly is coming to speak about something that is relevant, a sad thing that happened this past week. We lost wrestling legend Randy the Macho Man Savage.
And St. Louis Cardinals farm system baseball player Randy the Macho Man Savage. Although that's not what he was known as back in the day.
Well, to some people he was. But to this guy, of course, there's always controversy surrounding, or questions surrounding his death. Jesse Ventura, welcome back to the show. We're glad to have you on the program.
Well, how do you know that I'm coming back on the program
You are.
in a way that should be welcomed?
You are on the program. Well, you're here. Whether it's controversy or you're butting heads with us, we're glad that you're back.
Am I supposed to reciprocate your welcoming attitude?
Absolutely not.
You can reciprocate or not reciprocate. You are here.
I'm here to tell the truth.
All right. Well, let's
get down to it.
That's the only reciprocation we request from you.
Now, what we've heard mostly across the media was the sadness over the loss of Randy Savage. But
You heard that from the George Soros-controlled media.
Yes, that's pretty much.
I guess you could say that.
He controls a number of wrestling fan websites, and I ran into this personally when I worked for Vince McMahon, who is a 33rd degree Mason.
He's not a 33rd degree Mason. No, he is not. Randy Mario Papa.
Were you there at the elevated Grandmaster Council when they made him a full and honored Mason?
What if I told you I was there? What if I told you I was there at the 33rd Grand?
Then you would have just implicated yourself in the Illuminati conspiracy.
Then I'm not. I wasn't there.
He wasn't. All right. So our question to you is, what is the controversy surrounding Randy Macho Man Savage's death? Sounds like
the controversy is that the official story doesn't hold water.
How does it not hold water?
How does it not hold water?
The official story, according to the news media, is that he lost control of his car and slammed into a tree. Now, you and I both know, all three of us.
Yes.
We hold. I'm not sure which one of you is real.
We're both real.
We
are both real. We're twins. It's one egg that is split into two. I don't have to explain that.
It's one zygote.
That sounds like a leaky ship to me.
That is not a leaky ship.
It's one zygote split.
You're telling me that one baby can turn into two people?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I'm not buying it.
All right. Mr. Ventura.
The story is
how does the story that his car lost control?
Randy Savage has ultimate control. You see the way he could grab a Slim Jim?
Yeah.
He had his hands at 10 and 2 at all times.
And on Slim Jim, he had his hands at 10
You're telling me he lost control of a car and slammed into a tree? He was being tailed by the SAS and MI6. They cut his brakes just like they did to Ted Kennedy.
They did not. Ted Kennedy.
Did they really cut Ted Kennedy's brake at Chappaquiddick?
That's of course. How else do you explain it?
Drinking?
Yeah.
That's the cover story because they went for his known weakness.
Look, I'm not going to flat out say that he's wrong. What if he could be right?
Why don't we have an independent investigation into the death of Macho Man Randy Savage?
Let's do it.
That's all I'm asking for.
We should.
Why should it be a phony baloney fake senatorial investigation?
Because I think he dedicated his life to a sport that was fake, and so they feel like we want to go through the
You're telling me wrestling is fake? Is that what I'm hearing from you, Sklar?
The injuries are real. I'm saying the injuries are real, but the
injuries are the only part that is fake.
The injuries are...
What's real is that it is an act out of deep politics.
Okay.
The Iron Sheik.
It is an act out.
The Iron Sheik, it really represents Islamic terrorism.
Then
I believe that. Because anyone with pointy shoes, I don't trust.
You don't trust them. If you got a pointy curly shoe, don't even trust it, right?
Well, no, I know that. I don't trust it. I don't trust those shoes.
Thank you. We're on the same page with
Wait,
Jesse
are you
Ventura
agreeing
for the
with
first
us?
time.
I agree with you tentatively on that.
See? We got a tentative agreement from Jesse the Body Ventura.
I consider that a victory, Randy.
All right, we are getting away from Randy Savage here. So if he did not lose control of his car, are you going to confirm that he is actually dead?
How do I know that he's dead?
I agree.
I'm waiting for the autopsy report.
So you don't think that he's dead?
No, what happened was that the federal government has flown his body out of Florida into Washington, D.C., and they're replacing it. to make it look like it wasn't a controlled assassination.
So you think
the last thing they want to come to light is that he was poisoned with LSD and his brakes were cut.
Yeah, that's it, boys. Now, if you wanted to set up a website, what would be that website's address to explore some of these issues?
I have set up a website.
What is that website?
www.geocities.yahoo.viagra.w.w.randysavage. That's RANDYSAVAGE.w.gratuitousw.wwe.com.
Okay. That is so if you want to go to that, just listen to that site a number of times.
/conspiracy.
There is another I knew there would be a forward slash. So get that out and check it out, and you can find out what happened. Well, I mean, this brings up a larger issue. You know, a lot of wrestlers have died.
A lot of wrestlers have died in the service of the truth.
Wow.
Why do you think that I was the only person not of the two parties who was allowed to be governor in this country? Because there's power in professional wrestling.
There is.
Real power.
Look at The Rock.
And they don't want other truth tellers like me to come. Look at The Rock.
Look at him.
He had the power, and then he went to chase Hollywood because he wanted to be part of the machine.
Look, I think I think there were some messages in Tooth Fairy that were not even, if you look closely enough at what he was saying in the Tooth Fairy. I'm on board with Ventura. I'm going to say this. I couldn't handle the tooth. No, you couldn't. I couldn't handle it. I'll take the Ventura highway on that one. You will.
I don't tolerate The Rock. I refer to him as a disgrace. Mm-hmm. He's formerly The Rock. Mm-hmm. Now he's Dwayne Johnson.
He's Dwayne Johnson.
That is an Illuminati name.
Okay, let's talk about some of the wrestlers who have died. All the Von Erichs. Or whether or not they're dead or not. Whether or not they're dead or not.
The Von Erichs are being sequestered in Springer Mountain in Colorado.
Really? Doing what? What are they?
They're not doing anything. They're being tortured.
You think they're being tortured? Waterboarded?
I don't think they're being tortured. I think that I would like eggs for breakfast today.
You know they're being tortured.
I have knowledge. I don't know it. I have knowledge. Does that mean that I know it?
What is the difference between having knowledge and knowing something?
Because I possess the facts.
Okay.
Do you think that should mean that I'm convinced as a thinking entity of something?
Yes.
I'm not here to have opinions.
Okay,
I'm here to shoot truth from a fiery belly.
Okay. You're shooting truth from a fiery belly.
The Von Erichs are under state control. Mm-hmm. They are in Springer Mountain, and their powers are being siphoned off to power the grid for when 2012 happens.
Okay. Well, there you go.
That's the knowledge that I have.
We're rapidly approaching it, and it kind of makes sense, because why would so many kids from one family? I think it's weird that wrestler the Angel of Death has died. The Angel of Death, the wrestler, has died. I mean, does that surprise you?
No. Well, yeah, he was in very good health. Well, he was the Angel of Death.
Well, who took him when it was his time to go?
They tricked him.
He took himself.
He was on a small airplane. He was on a Cessna, which you should never do.
Never.
If you're fighting the government.
Never fly a Cessna. That's easy to take down.
It is very easy to take down.
Cut the brakes on that.
What happened was that let me tell you this right now, and I'll look into your eyes.
I'm seeing it.
They tricked him with a transponder into touching himself. That was his only weakness. Everyone knew that he wasn't able to bathe himself. And he was in sole control of that airplane, so when he touched himself,
he went down. He went down.
That's
right.
how you kill death.
Okay.
You're telling me that George W. Bush doesn't have a way to kill everyone who's his enemy?
He does.
Well, he certainly
That
can.
I actually believe. Junkyard Dog. Let's talk about his death, because that was a rough one.
Was that connected to Michael Vick?
Could that be considered animal cruelty? When the Junkyard Dog has gone down?
Junkyard Dog, you're making light of Junkyard Dog.
I'm not.
Junkyard Dog sunk his teeth into what was really happening with the economic meltdown.
He did. We all were thumped.
They took out Elliot Spitzer with a prostitute scandal. Junkyard Dog was on the real trail of what's happening at Goldman Sachs. He had his chain around the throat of Jamie Dimon. and other Wall Street luminaries.
I believe it, man.
If anyone would.
Tim Geithner knew that he was coming for him next, and he could.
So they couldn't handle it.
He couldn't break out of Junkyard Dog's finisher. You telling me that?
No, once he bites down,
Finish.
You can't. You either kill him or
He would have been laid out. Let me tell you that, Sklar. Laid out on the mat, Wall Street.
Wall Street style.
Dollars and fraud.
Yep.
All
Laid
over
out.
the mat in disgrace. They had to take him out. They broke kayfabe. And they took him out in a hospital.
All right. So if you had a message to Randy Savage, wherever Randy Savage's body is, what would it be, and what would you say to Randy Savage right now if you could speak to him right now?
Why would I tell you that secret information? I'll have you know that I am about to undertake. I am about to put on my Navy SEAL outfit for the first time in 25 years.
Will it fit?
And it doesn't have to fit. I have patches.
All right, fine.
There it is.
You patch it up.
It's expandable.
Okay.
It's a Navy SEAL outfit.
I didn't
Randy.
realize it was breathable.
It is.
You open one zipper and there's extra zippers for
Okay.
whatever your size
Fine.
is.
I just wanted to.
A lot of people didn't know that.
I have a line of fake Navy SEAL costumes I'm going to be selling at REI.
Yeah.
What's the website?
www.rei.org/Ventura.
Okay.
Look for that. /conspiracy theory.
There's no conspiracy. It's simply an online business.
All right. Everything doesn't have to be a conspiracy, Randy.
All right. Sometimes it can be just pure
When he's selling
commerce.
product, it's not always a conspiracy.
We are here right now, and I don't think that this microphone is a conspiracy.
No, you don't.
I'm here on the faith that this is working and that it's being broadcast to people.
It will be.
Now, the water, you'll notice I'm not drinking your water because that is a conspiracy.
You feel like the water might be contaminated with some sort of like a...
It might split my zygote off so there's another Ventura.
See?
If you're drinking the water,
So he
why
does
would I
believe.
trust it?
You do believe.
He does
you do
believe.
believe that it came around.
I had facts that were given to me as knowledge. I possess them. Do I believe them? It's not my place to do that. Belief is for weak-minded people.
Okay. All right.
What I am here to say is that I am going to undertake the first Navy SEAL mission that I have in over 25 years to swim up to the shores of Washington, D.C. on the Potomac.
Okay.
And I'm going to go into the coroner, and I'm going to find out what they did to Macho Man Randy Savage.
I feel like you could probably just take a train or a plane to Washington.
No,
but
you
you're
don't
gonna-
really swim.
You're
I'm
going to
not
swim up the
stupid.
Potomac.
Do you know how easy it is to derail a train if they know that Jesse, the Governor Ventura, is on board?
Good point. That is a great point.
I only travel by motorcycle sidecar and frogman flipper.
All right. See? You can't cut the brakes on a frogman flipper there.
No, you cannot.
Well, when you get to the bottom of it, I would like a full report if that's okay.
I would have... You think I could deliver a full report to you?
Yes.
Well, you didn't want to hear my full report on ravishing Rick Rude.
Well, because
Because that was an open and shut case.
We sure it was open and shut. They opened the door to the hotel balcony, and they shut it after he was helicoptered out because they knew he was trying to seek asylum in China.
Was he trying to learn another Oriental spike out there?
That's what because he realized they had figured out his moves.
Yeah.
And they saw the power in that package. Of his abs, his abdominals.
He was a ravishing
He had
individual.
a perfect physique, and that threatened him.
That's right. That's right.
It's getting deep on
It is,
Scarborough
and it's
Country.
truthful. And you know
That's
what?
just the surface, friend.
It is.
That is.
Well, I always not afraid to get underneath the surface. Jesse the Body, the governor.
That's why I have a snorkel with me at all times.
You're ready.
right.
He's ready to go underwater. He's ready to swim up to the shores of Washington D.C. on the Potomac River. We've got to get out of here.
Yes, we do.
This is Bon Iver. His new album coming out soon on June 21st. This is Calgary. Calgary, Enjoy the smooth, calming sounds. I mean, that was a...
There it is,
all right.
Jesse Ventura.
The smooth...
You're telling me there's calming sounds coming up?
Yes, these are calming sounds right here. Next week on the show...
There it is.